podcast is set for at least 1 hour. Introducing your hosts, from Fort Worth, Texas, at a total combined weight of 430 pounds, Kevin and Chris Newell. The Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Hello, everyone.
What is going on, everybody?
I was checking if I had room to spin the chair completely.
What? You're gonna pull your mic wire out of that? What are you
What
doing?
if I move it? If I move it here, it should be fine.
Okay, stop.
No.
Just stop. Just stop. You're gonna pull the microphone wire out. What's wrong with you? All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chris.
Doesn't the camera kind of look a little crooked to you a little? Like we're lopsided? Here, I'll fix it. Give me a second.
I mean,
There we go.
yeah, we accidentally moved the camera.
That's better.
Earlier, so
Yeah, the camera kind of got bumped, so move things around for the better. All right, guys. So, welcome to the Cross Promo Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm Kevin,
and I'm Chris.
and we are here to go ahead and give you the recap of everything that happened on Saturday Night Main Event. As you can tell by our lovely graphics down here of our names, everything in neon. Anyway, all right. So, let's real quick, I hope everyone is off to a good start for their Memorial Day weekend. I hope you all have a nice and safe one. Off to a nice and safe one so far. So, and I know it's kind of late because we kind of watched Saturday Night Main Event a little late. Chris had some swimming he wanted to do, and I apparently was very tired from work earlier, so I had to take a nap.
We both lost track of the time either way.
Hey, it's Memorial Day. We're spending time now as a family and everything, so it's oh well. Okay,
It's whatever.
it's whatever. Robert Brown is here,
Welcome.
live from Lafayette, Indiana. Welcome, Robert Brown. He's on our YouTube chat. Of course, if you are wondering,
We just started, man.
oh no, you're not late. You're right on time, man. We just barely got started. You're good. So, we are streaming live, of course, on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. And if you ever want to watch us live, just come on in and watch. One of our... I consider Robert now a loyal fan now. I really do. He's right up there with some others, you know, DJ Juggalo, Chris, not this Chris, bearded Chris, and
Looks like we got someone in the Kick chat. Welcome.
Okay, I'm probably gonna butcher your name. Ratnus Mox. What is going on? Our actual first live human being on a Kick, because usually it's been bots. So welcome to the live, welcome to the chat. So. Since Ratnus Mox, I believe this is your first time here, just give you a quick recap here. I'm Kevin the dad.
I'm Chris the son.
You're a real person. Okay. Thank you.
I don't know how we would do the whole I'm not a robot thing live.
No, we can't do that.
Or
So,
through text.
what we're a pro wrestling podcast, father and son. We are the tag team. What does that say? Chris wasn't a wrestling fan as a kid, huh? Actually, not in the beginning, no. No, it took COVID and me watching nothing but classic wrestling matches and playing a video game to get him to kind of jump in and be a fan.
We almost won, though. We should get around to playing that again at some point.
What's that?
The game.
We will. I'm trying to get everything's finalized and set up and everything. I'm a robot. All right, Robert. So we.
He's a robot.
He's not a robot. We come on to the live, whether it be Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and we also audio record our show for our podcast, and we just talk about wrestling. We recap the weekly shows and also any special events like tonight with Saturday Night Main Event, as well as pay-per-views like Battleground and Double or Nothing that's coming up.
We're going to try with Double or Nothing anyway.
Yeah, we're going to try with Double or Nothing. We did try yesterday with trying to get notes on SmackDown and TNA's Under Siege. Didn't work out too well.
One of those did not work. We couldn't watch one of them.
But we did definitely watch SmackDown because, I mean, we watched the Wyatts come back.
Yeah.
I stood up and couldn't stop yelling. What's that say? If you don't mind, can you talk a little about Kick?
It's green.
It's similar to Kick is similar to Twitch.
I don't know.
But you can stream on it. Both Kick and Twitch, you can stream video games on it. Stream whatever you'd like. We like to just go ahead and stream our podcast.
I mean, I would hope that's what they're streaming and nothing else.
You'd be surprised. But
with Twitch, I'm not.
Yeah. So say the Wyatt 6 feud with Damian Priest. I don't know. It could happen. I wouldn't put it past anybody. And if you guys see me leaning in and doing this a lot, it's because I'm having a hard time reading the YouTube chat because it's for some reason the letters are small.
It just seems like a seedy version of Twitch. Which one's worse? Which one's worse?
I don't know, but we're not here being seedy. We're here up front and just want to talk about wrestling.
Well, unless you count all of our stupid Hogan impressions.
If you were here last night, what was that? Man. I was expecting more from. We kind of were too.
We kind of were. Yeah.
You know, I mean, back then when Saturday Night Main Event would come on in the late '80s and '90s, they would treat it almost like it was a pay-per-view event.
How long did the one that we just watched last?
2 hours, 7 to 9, and that's kind of the average time.
It felt like an hour and a half.
Because when we watched it, we watched the replay and it skipped the commercials, except unless they were.
True.
Hawking their merch. Oh, give us a second. I'm just going to call you Mox. Is that okay, Mox? I mean trying to pronounce the first name.
How do you feel about that Anarchy in the Arena match, Mox? No.
Day wasted main event, in my opinion. Should have been John Cena and R-Truth.
I think that one should have been it.
That one should have been it, but the reason
they had this plan for Money in the Bank.
Well, I think that's the reason why that one was the main event was because Cody came back and made that main event match and everything.
Yeah. The guy on
we got a gentleman on Renatus Mox. Okay. It's someone. The person we're calling Mox is someone we have on our Kick chat. See, because we're streaming on 3 different platforms and we're talking with people on all 3 of those different platforms. Renatus. Okay. Alrighty. Well, Chris, I think the gentleman, since he is new, you should cater to his wishes and really just go all in on the Hogan impression, I think.
Tell the other platforms he wants us to say everyone on the other platforms that he says hi.
Yeah, we multitask. I make my wife happy, with that because she always tells me I should multitask. So I'm multitasking, honey. Look,
Ma, no hands.
Look, Ma, no hands, and I'm multitasking.
I can't even, mostly because I can't reach the computer.
And I got short arms. Anyway.
And I don't know how well this play was thought through.
Master. And he's laughing. Well, go ahead. Give Renatus a taste of your Hogan impression while I get over here and get my throat ready for many multiple impressions that I can do. Go ahead.
We legit laughed How long did we laugh? I know by
I
the
don't
end.
know.
I know by the end of it, I was crying, and that was funny.
Okay, Renatius, when you get a chance,
It was like our.
if Kick doesn't save the last night's live stream, go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube, brother.
We were going over SmackDown last night,
And
and
attempted to get. I don't know how we got.
almost went. No, we almost went 2 hours last night.
I have no idea how we got on the subject of Hogan last night.
I was talking about Eric Bischoff and Hogan in a news story.
I was about to say, like, from SmackDown to Hogan, that doesn't make sense. But if it's in a news story.
It is. It was in a news story. So
Talking about the reality of wrestling, brother. Or whatever they're calling it.
reality of wrestling, that's Booker T's promotion in Houston.
What were they calling it?
I don't know. Reality
television wrestling.
Real American wrestling.
Because they're real Americans, brother.
No, if you go, Renatus, if you go to our YouTube and look at our
It was
review of
mostly him,
SmackDown.
but it was hilarious.
Yeah, because we were talking about how his impression of Hogan and everything.
And he could do a Savage
Kevin,
impression.
can you do... Yeah, I can do a Randy Savage impression, but his impression, it was like Hogan was having major constipation from all those vitamins he was taking all those years.
The lack of vitamins.
I took my vitamins, brother.
It was the hand movement things that, yeah.
Yeah, because I said,
part of it.
yeah, because I said while he's over there on the crapper, he's over here doing his pose, but he's so old he can't do it because he's over here, brother. What you gonna do when I wipe the doo doo off of you? That kind of thing. Then see, that just hurt my throat a little bit just doing that. Then you got in another universe, probably in the 80s, that's probably how it went. And then you had Macho going, hey, Hogan, don't use up all the toilet paper, man. I just had Taco Bell.
Oh, no.
They came up with this new thing called Baja Blast, and I'm about to Baja the Blast out of that toilet. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Jimmy Hart. I'm still waving the flag, Hogan.
This is what, the second
Paul
day?
Bear is over here, too. Oh, yeah.
He's been waving that flag for, 2 days now? At least one day.
We were talking in reference for a better understanding of that. It was Hulk Hogan coming out during the Raw Netflix debut, and then you had poor Jimmy Hart waving the American flag over here while everybody's booing Hogan, and Jimmy's like, I don't know why they're booing. What's that say? Fun fact, y'all, Hulk Hogan broke his back during a phone call with Vince McMahon in 05. Vince McMahon was trying to get Hogan put over Cena at WrestleMania 22. I wonder how that phone conversation would have went. Chris?
Mm-hmm.
You be Hogan, I be Vince. And you
That's
Hogan,
right, because you had the Vince impression.
because he's saying Hogan broke his back during a what was this? During a phone call. Okay.
Right.
Hey Hogan, just wanted to call you to let you know we're gonna try to put you over Cena at WrestleMania 22.
I don't know about that one, brother. Wait, how did he break his back during a phone call?
Probably fell. He was taking a crap and he just blew out his own back.
Again, on a phone call?
He blew out his back. He blew out his own back. It was during the time he was probably still married to Linda, too. Linda! I need you to wipe me, brother.
The vitamins didn't help, brother.
Metamucil.
We might have to switch to Miralax, brother.
Anyway, we kid, and we have fun here every night. Not only with our impressions, but just our analogies and
Not
everything.
even a full 30 minutes in, we're already joking about Hogan.
That's the kind of fun we have around here. Hogan probably told Vince, like
Look how I will, brother. And then he broke his back
Yeah,
on
like
purpose.
like he does with every single one of his other matches in the future after Andre, because he was scared to wrestle Andre. True fact. He didn't know if Andre was going to put him over or not the whole entire night at WrestleMania. Before the match, he was like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know if Hogan is going." I'm over here doing Savage. Hogan admitted this over a podcast. Yeah. So yeah, the whole entire time up to WrestleMania 3 and the night of WrestleMania 3, Hogan was afraid that Andre was not going to put him over, and Andre was just going to go home with the belt. You know, he was going to win the belt, and that was it. But come to find out, Andre actually helped Hogan and put him over.
Yeah.
I don't know how it went about. Hogan. Oh yeah, he didn't want to put over Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 4. Yeah, after he beat Andre in WrestleMania 3, he was like, "That's it, brother. I'm not gonna put anybody over.
I'm over the limit of putting people over, brother.
I'm over putting people over."
I'm gonna need some more vitamins to get through this, brother. Maybe a beer.
And then he was part of that steroid scandal in the early 90s.
He took the vitamins thing a little too seriously.
A little way too seriously.
I got the special vitamins, brother.
Come here, Brutus Barber Beefcake's wife. Come here. Come feel my 20-inch pythons, brother. Can you do Ultimate Warrior? If I do, I'm going to scare everybody in the house. Because all Ultimate Warrior did was just yell. I'm serious. It was like, "Hulk Hogan, we put you in the Ultimate Challenge."
Sounds a little special.
Sounds a little special. You want to talk about a guy that didn't want to put anybody over? Ultimate Warrior really never wanted to put people over. You know, he didn't.
Because he was the Ultimate Warrior.
Because he was the ultimate. I'm the Ultimate Warrior. That hurts my throat more.
You got a Boulder impression in there?
No. Boulder impression.
Boulder and The Rock and Mick Foley would kind of roll together, wouldn't it?
Probably. I don't know.
Because it was, if I remember hearing right, it was just him doing an impression of The Rock. And that's actually pretty funny.
All right.
He would threaten to no-show events, too.
Yeah, he definitely would. And at one point he didn't, and then it was like right after a certain match, I think it was at like SummerSlam or something, he was chasing someone around and then went into the backstage area, and that's where Vince said, "Warrior, you're fired." He pretty much fired him right then and there.
If anyone asked, it was budget cuts.
No, it was because he wasn't. He was like he would be no showing. If you watch I guess it was the biography about him, about the Ultimate Warrior. He had there was an incident, and this really showed who he really was back then.
There was an incident.
He was at the airport, and a little kid was asking him if he was the Ultimate Warrior, if he can have his autograph, and the guy just treated the kid like crap and everything. So Vince got wind of it, and Vince wanted Ultimate Warrior in full outfit and everything. He cut a promo in a way of apologizing to the kid, and there's video of outtakes.
I think that one was
Dark Side.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring. They showed part of that.
So you saw what I'm referencing, where he's like, he's feeling embarrassed, and he's like, "Why am I having to do this? This is ridiculous." And he's like cussing up a storm, and it's like, dude, you were being a jackass to that kid.
Profanity.
Oh. Undertaker's. Oh yeah, he spoke on it in an interview too. Maybe that's why he locked him in that coffin.
Oof.
I was really trying to kill him.
Oof.
Anyway, let's get to the recap. Chris, you ready? You gonna look at the camera this time?
Where's the camera?
Every time.
What?
Camera's right there.
That's where that went.
All right. So, Chris is going to go ahead and start off with the recap. Are you ready?
Are you ready, brother? No,
He really sold that. Yeah, he can do that.
Yeah.
Anytime we do something like that, he will definitely sell. He sells pretty good. I taught him well. All right.
Don't do this at home, right? Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home.
All
Don't
right,
try
so
this at home, school, or
Anywhere.
church.
Yeah. See where else.
You just see that little kid coming up and low blowing the priest. And you want to see my impression of John Cena?
Spoilers.
Ask the Lord to grow those back, Father. Okay. Go ahead, Chris. We'll get more to the fun and games after this. Or probably while we go over this.
We probably will.
Go for it.
Let's see. They started off with the Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, CM Punk tag match. That was what they started
Oh,
with.
we got here. We got Aaron Teagle. Aaron Teagle, happy Saturday. How you guys doing? You guys doing on this Saturday? Aaron, we've been doing pretty good. We have just got done. We just got done watching Saturday Night Main Event, and we're going over the recap show right now. And go for it, Chris. Continue. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
So during that match, good back and forth on that match, and then eventually again not expecting this. I thought it was gonna come closer to the end too. I thought they were gonna start with like the match. Well, I didn't think they would start with.
I was for one surprised that it started and kicked off that way.
I thought if they started off with one that they would probably start off with the Green Vega one. I don't know.
Okay, started off with the title match. That would have been good too.
Maybe Uso and Paul I thought would probably be closer to like the middle.
Thought so too. The way that they laid out the matches, I was like, okay.
Yeah. And then Priest and McIntyre would probably, again, like you were pointing this out too. We expected that to be like the main event or close again. Close
Actually,
to
it was close to the main event.
Yeah, we didn't. We expected that to be in a different spot, I guess.
Anyway,
heard something hit the window.
that's probably a bug. But you were hiding your face.
All right, so during that match, we saw a return. They ended up helping to attack CM Punk. The return was Bronson Reed.
So Seth now has a faction. I don't know what they're going to name this faction. The Revolutionaries? I don't know.
They might.
I don't know. I don't know what he's going to want to name this faction. Handsome Grim is in. Hey, what's
Welcome.
going on? All right, go ahead. Sorry.
But yeah, you had that happen. Then after that, it looked at first like he might attack Seth, but then he ended up hugging Seth. They made up. They're friends now. He's part of the faction officially.
Yeah, what the faction is, I don't know.
This was after Braun Breaker pinned Sammy.
Okay.
Then they ended up just jumping CM Punk after. And then after that, they got to the U.S. title match, Chelsea Greens and Zelina Vega. You had Fire and Piper Niven at ringside. Match ended with Zelina Vega retaining by pinfall against Green.
With a super code red off the top rope. Well,
Wait, it was super enough to make her nose.
Come
from out of her nose.
It was a code red, and it made
Red come out of her nose.
Chelsea Green become Chelsea Red.
The red water.
Anyway, in WWE, I hope more creative freedom will be given to all people, especially to Triple H, because AEW is stepping up to the game.
They might.
A little bit. I mean, after Dynamite, I was surprised.
For a go-home show.
Zelina Vega botched tonight. Oh! I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. I wasn't paying too much attention to that match. Then again, up until Cena showed up, I wasn't... Again, spoilers. Then they had the John Cena versus R-Truth match. Where,
hang on, I'm trying to catch up with you here on the graphics. There you go.
Where that was a good match.
Hoping for a second Monday Night Wars.
Same here.
Personally think Chelsea should have won the title, but my opinion.
To be honest, I was kind of thinking that she was, because you had the whole undefeated against Chelsea Green thing for Vega, that little statistic they showed. So when they showed that, I'm like, yeah, she's probably going to win.
Yeah.
But she didn't, so.
But alas, she did not.
Yeah. So then we had John Cena versus R-Truth. The title was on the line for that one.
No, it wasn't actually.
That's kind of weird then.
Yeah.
But
it was pretty interesting. I mean, R-Truth came out in Cena's theme and dressed up and was dressed like Cena.
it was like when you're playing like a fighting type game, like say Mortal Kombat or something like that, or Street Fighter.
You pick the same character and then the
It's just
character's
two different
outfits are
versions of
different.
The same guy.
Yeah. Interesting take.
And he was also using a lot of Cena's old moves.
Mm-hmm. Or Cena's own moves.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to do them a whole lot anymore, though, so.
No.
Since he's turned heel anyway. Also, he's still a heel, so. Yeah, I was wrong about that.
Yeah.
At some point towards the end of that match, he got the belt and was going to use it, but then kind of hesitated. And then he gave the belt back to the ref, so he's like, and then you said low blow, and then he did the low blow. And yeah.
Yeah.
After that, he got the pinfall and won the match.
Truth should have won. Would have been interesting.
I think I would have liked Truth to win, too.
Yeah.
Then after that match, they had, like, the weird, I guess, commercials for stuff. And then you had Cena talking. He ran into Jay in, like, one of the, like, the back part of the arena.
Yeah, the backstage area.
And he said that he's going to be closely watching the match with Jay tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, they got to the cage match with Damian Priest.
Hang on. Call it beforehand. Yeah, there's some things I can see, and it's like, okay, I think I know how this is going to go. And I'm happy when I'm wrong. I'm kind of down when I'm right, and I'm like, I should be working for WWE and writing this stuff if I'm over here coming up with this.
It was like with SmackDown when we were like, who's going to be the third man? And I'm like, who did I say first? Because I ended up saying someone before Andrade, and I forgot who it was.
Ray. Yeah, you said Ray, and I go, no, Ray's injured. And
then I'm like,
then you said Andrade, and then all of a sudden the graphic popped up for the triple threat.
Like, oh yeah, I guess he's.
And I'm all like, hey, you got it right. You want to give me the lotto numbers while you're at it? But no, what I was about to
the way across the board, just 3.
Yeah. No, what I was about to touch base on whenever Cena was talking to Uso. What was with
he was talking?
What was with the way Cena was talking? It was like calm and cringy. It was like
it was definitely weird.
Very weird. Like he was about to want to, consummate.
I would say big word explain, but context gives.
I mean, he's over here.
The meaning might be a little.
He's over here, when my time is up and the clock strikes 0. He's like talking slower and
Why
everything.
Are you
and
talking
it's
so slow, man.
And it's like, are you okay, John? You about to have a stroke through that balding head of yours? It was really. I mean, am I the only one that picked up on the creepiness of the voice? I mean, it was surreal. I was looking at you and having you answer, but you didn't answer.
What, like during the thing, or just
No, right now.
I was like, I was kind of wondering why he was talking so slow.
He was talking slow, and it was almost breathing like about to have a stroke. Well, it seemed like it. He was talking slow.
I didn't know they had toasters under the ring too. At least I think I can smell toast.
But I'm serious. It was the way that he was talking. It was like, this isn't how Cena usually
talks. Is this
talks.
wrestling or is this wrestling? I mean,
At this point, I'm over here thinking, oh, great. He's probably thinking he's auditioning for another movie role where he's a creepy guy with a white van.
he's got the spot for it. The bald spot.
Instead of being John Cena going, hey, kids, I've got candy, he's more, hello, children, I have candy. How creepy is that, you know? But I keep saying Cena heel turn has suck. It has, because the way he's been talking and everything like that, I'm just over here like,
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of the heel turn either.
I'm not either, and it's not because I've been wanting him to turn heel. It's just it's not working. The only heel turns that have turned
working.
Okay, faces that have turned heel. Hulk Hogan.
Well, that and the way they started it, it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it didn't. He just automatically just turned on Cody Rhodes without any motivation. That's what it sounded like.
That's yeah. It was like a Disney twist villain.
Yeah. Well, Hulk Hogan turning heel at Bash in the Beach and joined the Outsiders and became MWO. That was a good heel turn.
They should have. I feel like they probably should have had more like clues and foreshadowing for that.
Okay.
You know.
Like what?
Well, him meeting with The Rock, like in the background or something. At least that.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, because he loses Elimination Chamber, and then he wins Elimination Chamber, but loses the Royal Rumble, but then automatically says, I'm in the Elimination Chamber, and then goes about the Elimination Chamber like he was a face, and then all of a sudden just turns heel on a dime, you know?
Yeah.
It
you know.
No foreshadowing. You're right. There's no foreshadowing. All right. Continue on.
Let's see. The cage match. Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre. Good match.
It was a hard-fought match. It was pretty good.
And then,
chairs got involved.
Then the same thing. You mentioned something about how Edge did like the chair thing where he
Concerto.
That's what he did before. That's what Priest did to McIntyre before he was able to leave the ring, and he just walked out.
Yeah, he hit him with a concerto just once, and then he's going out. He steps out of the cage and is standing on the steps, and then it's like the crowd was wanting him to do it one more time, and he's standing on the stairs, and you hear some people starting to boo, like, we wanted another chair shot. He turns around and says, now we're done, and then steps off the steps. If he was booking Elimination Chamber, would you have booked it the same way with Cena turning on Cody, or put someone else in the spot?
I would. Wait, you go first.
Honestly, leading up to Elimination Chamber,
I don't think there should have been Rock involved as much as he was.
Yeah, I really wouldn't have. I really wouldn't have had The Rock doing,
Because if he was going...
I want your soul, Cody Rhodes. It's
because he went from saying, he's going to be back, I'm going to be back for your title, Cody, like when he came back last time.
Yeah.
And that he was a heel then. Then he's a face at the Raw Netflix debut, talking about how he's friends with Cody. And now he's not friends with Cody, talking about how, I want your soul and all this, right? So
that threw a lot of fans off. You're not the only one.
So it's like a will they, won't they type thing. It just doesn't...
Yeah, I get you.
He needs to make up his mind.
But, Robert, going back to your question, from the end of the Royal Rumble leading up to Chamber, I would have had like these run-ins with Cena and Rock, like Rock coming in and just seeing how things are going. You might do the soul thing maybe with Cody, but then you would see like how they did with Finn Balor and Roxanne Perez. You look in the back and you see Cena talking with The Rock, and you're like, what's going on right over there? Are they talking about...
After they've made it obvious that The Rock is also heel again.
Yeah. And then you'd be over here like, I wonder what's going on over there. Oh, it's probably nothing. And then you announce,
Well, that would have been a
Travis
massive-
Scott making he's going to be
Massive red flag that would have been.
No. He would have Travis Scott over here talking with Travis Scott after Travis Scott was announced that he's going to have they're going to use his song for a theme for WrestleMania, and you see him in the crowd and everything, and then later you see him talking to The Rock backstage too, and then you're over here like at a later, like at another Raw or another SmackDown or something, you know, and then you're over here like, what? Yeah, you don't want to do it on the same day, because then you'd be like, okay, something's going on, but you would come to that maybe a week or two,
Have a week in between.
a week before Elimination Chamber, and say that Travis Scott is going to appear and be there, and then, you know, The Rock, and then The Rock over here telling Cody, you know, I want your answer at Elimination Chamber. And you would think it's just, and then after Cena wins the Elimination Chamber, you have Cody coming out and be like, okay, you're going to be my challenger at WrestleMania. Okay, let's shake hands and everything. And then you'd have that come out. You'd have The Rock. But you wouldn't have Travis Scott and The Rock come out. You would just have The Rock come out. Like, you know, I'm here to get your answer. Are you going to give me your soul? And, you know, you'll have Travis Scott at ringside. And then all of a sudden, you know, then you have that whole thing where Cena turns heel and then Travis Scott jumps the barricade and joins in.
I think as far as that, like, for the most part, it would be the same. But again, maybe less of The Rock, maybe like the same amount. But he ended up not appearing at Mania anyway.
Which upset a lot of people.
Yeah,
Like,
especially with as involved as he was in that storyline.
actually, he wasn't. He kicked off that storyline.
He seemed important to it.
He did. He seemed important to that storyline, and I noticed throughout the promo they didn't do much.
Cody's return was...
Who's this?
Oh, wait, new
New
guy.
We're getting some new people tonight. I'm loving this. Dreamscape Immersions. I was disappointed with how Cody's return was handled. I would kind of agree with that a little bit too. You know, have him come back on SmackDown with Cena over here saying, you know, I defeated R-Truth, or have him come on Raw or something, you know, and then have the big reveal of Cody coming back. You know?
Yeah. But I think by Elimination Chamber, it should have been like obvious that Cena was going to do something, but you still wait till Mania for him to really go full heel.
Right.
And then Scott's there to... Oh, he's welcoming him to
Oh,
the
yeah.
chat. But, yeah. Like, that way it makes sense, and that way he can still, like, get the slip on Cody.
Yeah.
You know?
But, again, we're not...
Because he would think these guys are his friends.
Yeah.
But everyone else would know they're not here to help. You know?
That is very true. All right. Go ahead.
Let's see.
We were done talking. I think we just got done wrapping up the whole thing with Damian and Drew. I think they finally ended their feud. Their very violent feud.
Hopefully.
So, okay, we'll stick back to that match. With the ending of that cage match, what do you think is next for Damian Priest, the winner?
I think he might want to go after a title.
Okay, which title?
Priest versus Jacob Fatu.
They have been hinting at that for quite some time here and there. We could see that. What do you think would be next for Drew McIntyre?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
You don't think he's gonna join?
Don't forget my Drew McIntyre comment.
He won't. He
Drew,
didn't. He didn't like the.
yeah, he
ending.
should have won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
McIntyre's been at like on a losing streak.
Yeah.
You could say he's defeated. You remember
We're
when
going-
Miz?
I remember that one year we had Miz like losing like a lot of matches.
It was
and he,
almost every match. aside
every
from,
match,
like,
and
one.
he had a defeated record. I heard Drew McIntyre taking time off. You know, he very well could be.
Yeah.
So if he is taking time off, that's fine, and then we'll have Damian just try to either get the U.S. title or he may go after the main title. He may have a match with Cena down the road.
He could.
We got Dreamscape Emergence. Seth versus Cena would make sense. One wants to save the world, and one wants to ruin wrestling. I like that.
The only problem is that they're both heels, but other than that, that could work.
It definitely could. All right.
Then after the cage match, you had the main event, which was Jey Uso versus Logan Paul, world title on the line. That match was going relatively smooth up until Cena came out and basically took out the ref before attacking Jey. And that's when Cody returned to attack Cena, and then Jey got the pin on Paul, ending the match, retaining his title. Then after that match, you had Cody challenging, basically announcing or challenging or something for a tag match at Money in the Bank.
Okay. Yeah. He's saying, he was saying, your farewell tour just went through Rhodes country, and you're done ruining things. So, since you have a tag partner there with Logan Paul, I've got a brother in Jey Uso, and we'll see you at Money in the Bank, us against you, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, that sounds like a good, decent match.
It's just, I don't know, to be at one pay-per-view and then to announce, well, it is like, what, 2 weeks away?
It's 2 weeks away, yeah.
I don't know, it feels kind of weird.
How?
Because we're going from one big event and announcing that we're going to have this match at this next big event. Usually it's...
They've got 2 weeks, so they got to build up the match card quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of match cards, they did just announce another match for the Worlds Collide pay-per-view.
That's right.
They have El Hijo del Vikingo taking on Chad Gable in a match. And, well, what's that say? Jesse was right. A cage match should end with someone going over or submission or pin.
Not
Yeah.
just walking out the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't like I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a real big fan of walking out the door, because so
Dude,
much.
you're just walking out a door, man.
Yeah, there's so much that if it's a heel and he has a team, the team like, say for example it was CM Punk and Seth Rollins in a cage match, and then all of a sudden, well actually that was the cage match. All of a sudden Roman pulls Seth right out of the cage. What is that? In order to win, you need to pin the person in the ring, or make them tap, or just climb over the cage. That's the only way you should win.
Yeah.
You don't need to be, and there doesn't need to be a door. What you need to do, get the participants in the ring, then lower the cage down where there is no door.
Maybe they're scared for, like, safety or something.
You can easily raise up the cage.
Yeah. That or just lock the door during the match.
They do.
They do?
They do. And anytime someone is coming towards the door, they unlock it. You'll hear it. You'll hear the chain and everything. I hit the mic. It doesn't make sense. Crazy, been hearing they're thinking Mania at Vegas indefinitely. Yes. I think the door was made for larger set guys. Women are playing it super safe. Well, I'm just saying, if I were to have built a cage for a cage match, it needs to be a cage with no door.
But at that point, it would just become Hell in a Cell. So
Well, Hell in the Cell still has a door.
it does.
Yeah. It does. I think it was '05 when the door came around. Actually, the door.
What does he mean by
No, yeah, it was.
What does he mean by keeping Mania Vegas indefinitely?
There have been reports right now since WWE had pulled out of WrestleMania 42 of being in New Orleans that there's rumors that it could be in Vegas again next year, and now they're saying with TKO, who has WWE and UFC, majority of the time UFC will have their fights in Vegas regardless. They're saying the same thing could be happening with WrestleMania, to where their events are going to be happening in Vegas quite often. I'm
Not a big fan of that.
not too keen on that. I like it when, WWE travels, and then there's rumors of it happening overseas.
They'll do it for like 5 years, and then in 5 years they'll be like, our first Mania outside of Las Vegas or New Vegas or whatever.
Because the only thing they've done outside of the U.S. is go to Canada and go to England and Saudi Arabia and
Other
Australia.
places. Yeah.
And now they're gonna. I mean, if they're World Wrestling Entertainment, you need to be traveling the world, and especially for WrestleMania.
Unless they're just gonna get rid of the world part. They're just gonna be wrestling entertainment.
Oh God, that would be irritating. So, your choice of match of the night tonight.
Truth versus Cena.
That would be your match of the night?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because we got to decide on one for the voting.
What were you gonna say?
Honestly, I would have said the
The one with CM Punk.
Not really, no.
The one with
I would have said
Logan?
I was probably gonna say the cage match, but
The ending.
yeah, the ending of him just walking out. I mean, I agree with Ventura. What kind of match you win? A cage match you win where you just walk out the door?
It should end in submission or pinfall or again escape. I feel like with that, submission or escaping the cage.
With a cage match?
Yeah. Because I mean the entire point of that is it's a rivalry.
Yeah.
So
Well, the whole purpose of a cage in a cage match is to keep the participants in. That way they don't go fighting all over the arena like anarchy
in the arena.
And to keep people out. But as many times in history as we've seen,
They almost always find a way over that cage.
someone will find a way into the cage, and they sometimes find a way out of the cage, especially Hell in a Cells. It's been
Just throw
documented
someone
many
through.
times.
And then worst case scenario, they end the Hell in a Cell in DQ.
That would be terrible. There was one
That
cage
would,
match.
wouldn't it?
There was a cage match that happened in Saudi Arabia. I believe it was Saudi Arabia. Roman versus Brock Lesnar, and Roman speared Brock through the cage. And the cage busted open, and they both came to the floor, but Brock hit the floor first, so Brock automatically won. So that was an interesting turn, because I've never seen anybody go through the cage in a cage match. I've seen people go through the cell in Hell in a Cell. I've
Not
seen
the
many
cage.
things happen in Hell in a Cell, but never a cage. And I thought that was interesting.
It was new.
Yeah. So we'll. I'll agree. I'll agree with you on the match of the night. Now, The reason we were talking about match of the night is because we're going to put it to a vote
In the Discord.
in the Discord, and that's going to be what, starting tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say probably sometime after the show tonight.
Yes.
Try and get it out before tomorrow morning.
Yeah, because Chris has got to put it out there to vote. But we select the matches of what we think match of the night is, and we leave it to you guys to go to our Discord and go ahead and vote. And by the way, let me put that up there right there. You guys vote on what you think match of the week will be. Now, at the end of the month, we will let you guys vote on what match of the month would be. And then at the end of the year, we gather up the matches of the months, and we let you guys decide match of the year. It's kind of like kind of like an elimination tournament kind of thing, you know. We'll start with all those matches for the week, and then it gets whittled down to just one of the weeks, and then so on and so forth.
And eventually we end up with one match of the year.
Yeah. What was the comment by Dreamscape?
He was asking, so if the next match is Cena, Logan versus Jay and Cody, and we know Money in the Bank will not have any upper card titles defended, does that mean the event suffer, or can it survive on the briefcase basically alone?
See, and that's a really, really good question. Because me personally, I'm not a big fan of Money in the Bank. I'm not a fan of the match or the concept of someone walking around a whole year with a contract.
Or briefcase.
Well, they're running around basically a whole year with the contract that guarantees them a title shot. And most of the time it's for the main title. The only time it was ever used for a title less than the world title or the main title, it was Otis. When he was teamed with another guy that I can't remember the name of or the tag team.
Chad Gable?
It wasn't with Chad Gable. It was before he joined up with Chad Gable. And he cashed in the Money in the Bank contract to cash in on the tag titles. And not a mid or main card title. So that was the first time I saw that. That was after he won it during that Money in the Bank match.
Wait, Otis won Money in the Bank?
He won Money in the Bank, and it was when they were fighting at
Otis won Money in the Bank?
Yeah. It was when they were having the match in WWE headquarters when
Defender Dome or whatever?
No. Yeah, well, it was during COVID, and during that time of COVID.
It was during the Rona.
But that was when Bryan Danielson was still with WWE as Daniel Bryan. And it was I remember that.
Daniel?
Don't twist it up or confuse people. I remember it because him and
It's like
AJ.
Benjamin Shelton.
You keep cutting me off. I'm gonna throw another water bottle at you.
No, I'm good. There, I'll turn my mic down so they can't.
No, don't do that. Don't turn the mic down. Don't fiddle with that.
Then I really can't cut you off.
But anyway, there's the Discord right there for you guys to vote on match of the week, and we really hope you guys join our Discord. We're not taking off just yet, so don't worry. We're not gonna go. These are our socials. This is our email. Da 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 da. Good night. No, we're not doing that yet. It's not time yet. It's not that time because we got new viewers, or listeners, however you feel. But we got new viewers here, and we're proud to have them here. So we like to, other than you yawning, we like to still have some fun a little bit and talk. Usually I have news to go over, but, I mean, I can find something, but it's really...
He doesn't have news.
There's really nothing that was interesting that happened. They're saying Chelsea claims to have suffered a broken nose. R-Truth continues to call out John Cena after he lost his match. They're saying Drew McIntyre off WWE TV after his loss. I'm talking about Cody Rhodes returning, showing one of the Bushwhackers, Luke, trying to lick Jimmy Hart. He stopped waving the flag.
Yeah. He was trying to run. He was trying to run.
Okay, so this one is actually good. WWE.
We found the news.
Everyone remembers WWE Evolution. WWE has officially confirmed. Shut up. Has officially confirmed the return of Evolution. It's going to be part of a massive weekend at in Atlanta. And it is going to be taking place, which includes. Okay, so it's going to be something similar to like how this weekend went. So, it's going to be in July. You're going to have Saturday Night Main Event in July and in Atlanta, as well as NXT's Great American Bash, which will happen on that Sunday. And I guess Evolution will take place, I don't know, that Saturday or that Sunday. I don't know how they're going to squeeze in Evolution right there.
No.
I don't know how they're going to... Okay, they showed it right here. So they're going to have Saturday Night Main Event on... and the tickets are already on... they're going to go on sale this Tuesday.
A Cody heel turn could have been interesting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hang on.
He's watching a video.
I'm watching a video of it to where they'll probably explain a little bit more because they're saying... Yeah, and they just showed, Evolution. Great American Bash Atlanta. And Saturday Night Main Event.
For a second, it looked like 2K footage.
Evolution. Okay, so they're saying Saturday, July 12th, main event, and Evolution is going to be on Sunday. But it says nothing about Great American Bash. I think it's on that either that Friday. Hang on, let me try to figure this out. Or it could be happening on that Tuesday for NXT. What's that? I was actually happy to see Evolution is happening. There's a lot of women to showcase.
Yeah.
Dreamscape, you and I have that same mentality because if you go and Dreamscape, if you go to our previous videos, we have been talking about women's wrestling quite a bit. One of the subjects we were talking about was here lately. Tony Khan in AEW is.
I'm surprised we're talking about him.
I know.
And I will do my impression of him too.
Yeah.
Wide-eyed, no.
Why? Yeah, just sitting there like. But he was announcing there could possibly be a women's tag division in AEW. I don't know how he's going to do that when there's only 4 tag teams.
And I think all of them are in Ring of Honor.
One is in Ring of Honor. He's got a few women tag teams in there.
Do any of them have tag team names, or are they just individual wrestlers stuck together?
There's one in Ring of Honor that they're called the Renegades. Robin and Charlotte Renegade. They're in Ring of Honor.
There's only one actual women's tag team
that has an actual team name. But
the rest are just wrestlers stuck together.
Well, Anna Jay and Harley Cameron, they're called T and A. And then, that's the only other one. I can't think of any other women's tag team.
We're going to have a woman. That's even worse than what we were thinking before. So, at most, they got 3?
At most. I mean, before the women's mid-card titles on WWE were introduced, I kept on saying, they need to give the women's mid-card titles. They can't just give them the Raw Women's Champion, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and then the tag titles. You need mid-card titles. And then they take away the NXT Women's Tag titles, and now you only have one women's tag division in WWE, and it's like, how are you going to help with developmental if you're going to have, Me personally, I really think you need to have 2 women tag titles, one World, one WWE, One is on Raw, one is on SmackDown, and then you bring back the NXT women's tag titles on NXT. And
How many women's tag teams does WWE have?
well, they've got the Green Cabinet with
That's
Chelsea
what they're
Green,
calling it?
or the Green Cabinet, yeah,
The Green Administration.
yeah, you got that. There's some, but they need to kind of beef up their
So that's what, one?
their women's tag division. I'd have to look through, but they have to beef up their women's tag division with tag teams, actual legitimate teams, and go from there. Like, you have Fatal Influence, but it looks like they're going to be breaking up
So
soon.
that's two.
I mean, you had women's tag teams, and then they did away with them. Like,
The women's tag division on WWE is
both promotions need, if they're
three.
going to have tag divisions, it needs help. You can't have women just go after singles titles. You need to have women go after tag titles.
Come to think, but I think TNA might have the same issue.
Yeah, because you only have, you did have Spitfire, but they disbanded since they lost to the
Used to have
Elegance.
Spitfire.
I can't think of any. So, I mean, they need to bring in
What
some
was it,
women's
Elegance brand or whatever?
Elegance brand or brand by Elegance. I don't know. Anyway, I honestly think when it comes to that, they need to really beef up the women's tag division. And if they do get the NXT women's tag titles back in NXT, they need to go ahead and just take out the Heritage Cup.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or make it a belt, but
no, they just need to do away with the Heritage Cup, because if they're going to do the Heritage Cup match that they had and didn't go by Heritage Cup rules, what's the point?
I think they're in the works of phasing it out because they already ditched the rules for it.
Yeah, it's.
So.
I mean, I think they need to in order to make room for the women's tag titles. But before you do that, you need to beef up the women's tag division.
Yeah.
Do away with the speed thing, because the speed thing. Me personally, I'm not getting.
You know what they should do with the speed thing? You remember Dark and Dark Elevation with AEW, right?
Yeah, that didn't go off really successfully, though.
Yeah. If you want to do something, and the thing is, I think the only reason they really did that was for, like, that way their stuff's easy to find. That way they could advertise what their wrestlers could do. So just show dark matches. Put that out on Twitter or something. It's still a dark match. Nobody honestly uses Twitter.
Right.
Most of the time, the only thing I really hear about coming from Twitter is political announcements or arguments. So
That's mainly a lot of social media.
yeah. So yeah, just do that. Do away with speed, and yeah,
Okay. All right.
because it's a publicity stunt. So
I know. And those titles are about as relevant as the 24/7 title. The only one that ever made the 24/7 title entertaining was R-Truth. Honestly, that's my opinion.
yeah,
So, it was a great Saturday night main event. I enjoyed it too.
Saturday night's all right for a fight.
Yeah, to a
Was
certain
it
extent.
AEW?
We're almost coming down to the end of the week, thank God. Because we have two more
Yes,
pay-per-views.
almost to the end of the week.
Yeah, we got two more pay-per-views. We got Battleground and Double or Nothing. What are you looking forward to out of Battleground tomorrow?
Oba.
The Obafemi? Okay.
Oba.
I'm looking forward to the Joe Hendry and
Forgot about that.
Trick Williams match.
Those two are good. Those two I'm looking forward to.
Of course.
I forgot
Because
about
honestly, I think
Hendry
Joe
for a
Hendry in WWE would be great. He's been proving that. I mean, he had this Randy Orton match at WrestleMania, but the one I know I pray that gets a push, Karrion Kross. He really does. Because if you've watched their weekly show main event, he was on there taking on Tyler Bate, and he's normally the heel, right? Everybody was cheering for Karrion Kross.
Again, I could be wrong, like I was with the Cena thing, but I think Cross is more of a heel now.
He
Or
is.
a face. I mean.
Well, the crowd is turning him into a face.
Because again, like he was against Logan. Logan is a big time heel,
Everybody was starting to agree with him.
and I can't think of anybody that disagrees with his stance on not liking Logan.
And then, of course, the interview at the WrestleMania Recap podcast.
Yeah. So I think he's a face now.
He could be that Stone Cold type, because Stone Cold in the beginning, he was like in between. He was both
Yeah.
heel and face in certain aspects, and the crowd was starting to like him. And that showed at WrestleMania 13 during that match he had with Bret Hart. And everybody turned from Bret and started jumping on the Steve Austin bandwagon. And that's how that went. So I think Karrion Kross is getting that same treatment right now. Everyone knows he's a heel, but they really want to see a push out of him because he's been stepping up and doing his own promos on social media. And he's got that documentary, which we're still going to watch and review, because I want to see this. I want to see this documentary because it's been popping up on my social media pages for quite some time now. So I'm like, okay, it keeps popping up. I've really got to see this because I got to see what he says. And I think that's probably the main reason why a lot of people have turned and started to cheer for him was probably
Why they're
because
turning him into a face.
is because they probably have seen the documentary and are like, you know what? I can see where he's coming from, and I got to be a fan of him. Hands down, I got to be a fan because I like this. So, I mean, I was liking his segments with AJ Styles. I liked his segments, when he's starting to talk to them and everything, and then the whole thing with Logan Paul, because I really think him and Logan Paul need to have a match. And Karrion beats Logan Paul because I just want to see that. And I mean, and I'm not just saying that because he follows us on Twitter and everything
Or
like
X.
that. Or X.
Cross follows
whichever
Cross promo on X.
Yeah, whichever you
That's
prefer.
the only time I'm gonna call it X is for the sake of that one joke.
Okay.
All the rest of the time it's Twitter.
All right. But yeah. I would like to see him get a big push here soon. I'm surprised they didn't put him in any of the qualifying matches for Money in the Bank and have him win Money in the Bank. That would have been good.
Unless
Then that would be the only time I would actually like the Money in the Bank concept. Be like his way of saying, okay, you don't want to push me? Well, then I'm going to push myself and get the contract and win the title.
they could do that.
I mean, they still have
That could work.
they still have men's qualifying matches because they're filling up.
after the one with Andrade in them.
Yeah,
He could be in one of those.
they're
then.
gonna have. I think they're gonna have like 2 of the men's qualifying matches on Raw, and I really hope Karrion
And
Kross
he's
is on one of
Raw,
them.
So
I really hope Karrion Kross is on one of those and he gets that and he wins.
they can do that.
That would be the only push I could see is him like, okay, I've had to pay for my own promos and do my own promos on social media. Now I have to push myself, I guess, because the crowd's liking me. And I tell you, if he does make it to Money in the Bank, he's going to be the odds-on favorite. Regardless, it doesn't matter if you're LA Knight or any other face or heel for that matter in that match. Everyone is going to want Karrion Kross to win. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Karrion Kross loses that match, a lot of people are going to be very upset. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel anyway. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and start fixing to head on out of here. So,
I reckon we'll get out of here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Right?
howdy, 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 howdy. Of course, we'll be here again tomorrow night to give you guys a recap of Battleground, and I really hope Double or Nothing, because this match that they have between Ospreay and Paige, I'm very interested in seeing, because I want to see who's going to win and take on Moxley at All In, because honestly, I feel that's where Moxley's going to lose the title, is at All In.
At least that's what we're hoping.
And I want Ospreay to win. Because I'm done seeing Paige over here whining and complaining. You know? That's the only match I'm looking forward to at Double or Nothing, is that particular match. Then we
What
got...
were the other matches?
I can't remember. All I know is it's going to be... all I know is it's going to be that match that's going to stand out the most. All the other matches I'm really not all that interested in.
The other matches
Because the Hurt Syndicate is going to win. They're going to retain their titles, and it's going to be because of MJF. That's going to be a given. So, if you want to follow us on our social media, these are our social media pages here. If you're on YouTube, they are listed below the description of the video. And we mainly, I jump on TikTok quite a bit. Chris is on Patreon to oversee everything. Or Discord, yeah, sorry. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook at times just to check our site and everything. But mainly on TikTok.
Judging by what I said about Twitter earlier, you can tell I don't use Twitter.
Yeah,
So.
I'm the one that's on that. I'm usually the one that checks the social media sites. The majority of them. Chris is checking Discord. And let me put up the graphic there for the Discord again, just in case.
For everyone that, again, if you're on YouTube or if you can find the YouTube, it's usually in the description. It's in the description along with a few of other links.
Right.
That way you can find it easier.
And then also on the Discord, Chris, he mainly runs the Discord, and I just check in on time to time. What can people find when they join our Discord? What can they be looking forward to?
Stuff. No, I'll get it right. The polls for match of the year, match of the month, match of the week. Wrestling memes. There's not a lid on that one.
Yes, I know.
Where did the lid go?
Does it matter?
The dog ate it.
No. This is just motivation for you to actually talk about it, or else you get some of my little bit of backwash in this thing.
Let's see. As well as community stuff. Just basically, those are the main things that come to mind when I think about it. Yeah.
I know you said we have a thing for memes. That's there.
Other like wrestling media, pictures, music. If you want to put that in like the media channel, because it's like you can put multiple things in that anyway. Also just wrestle chat or whatever if you want to talk about wrestling stuff. Yeah.
Okay. We also have a website for merch. We started that, I want to say, late last year.
That is a link to a website. Nah.
I'm gonna throw it because you're stating the obvious. But yes,
That's what that looks like.
our website is right there. For it is crosspromopodcast shop.fourthwall.com. You guys put that in, and I think I put a link in it down below as well in the description in the YouTube. And if you guys are wanting to know what it looks like, that way you guys know you're on the right website. Here it is right here. You definitely get some shirts, mouse pads, some stickers, sweatshirts, hats, beanies, and hoodies. And coffee mugs, too. If you want to start your morning off right with a cup of coffee, do it the cross-promo way and
What if they don't like coffee?
hot chocolate or whatever. Whatever you drink it first thing in the morning to get your day started off. Because you know you got to get to that job, but you want to start it off right. Put it in a cross-promo mug. And if you ever go to a live wrestling event, you can wear one of our cross-promo shirts. If anybody asks you, you know, who are those guys or what is that? You let them know. You know, we always like word of mouth too to spread about our stuff. All right. So that is the website there. Then I believe, also on YouTube, look forward to the Cross Promo Body Challenge. That is where
The cross promo cross body challenge.
Oh yeah, the Cross Promo Cross Body Challenge. That is where I'm basically going to be cutting weight, and Chris is going to be bulking in weight.
Yeah.
Working on getting back into shape. Chris is going to be trying to get into shape for the first time. It's going to be our little vlog series where we're going to be documenting. Whatever. There. Okay, you poorly sold that one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
That's
recovered a little too quick.
yeah, you recovered way too quick there.
Rizzo.
Yeah. But they're
2K character now.
yeah, you're God. So, with the crossbody challenge, like I said, it's a vlog series that we're going to put out on YouTube. It's from there we're going to be documenting. There, I said it right. You happy? A little twerp. That's where we're going to be. We're going to be weighing. We're going to be doing weigh-ins like once a month. Tracking our diet, how much we're eating, when we're eating, all that. And then, of course, us exercising. We may have like a separate one where it's like outtakes or whatever, but we want to use it as a positive thing, not only for, me trying to get healthy again, because my weight gain has caused some issues, not to get too personal. We'll save it for the vlog series, but
Once we get it, a little more fleshed out and whatnot.
yeah, but we'll go more in depth with that. But we also want people to be motivated to just get into healthy shape for themselves, as well as just kind of motivating, like, hey, these guys are doing it, I'm going to do it too, and see how I go about doing it and everything. So there will be some serious sides to us. Not so kind of funny sides as you guys have seen here tonight.
Why so serious, brother?
I could bust out my Shawn Michaels. Well, I don't know. I run NXT from time to time, all the time, and I put Ava as the general manager, but really I'm the one that's running the show, because my best friend Triple H put me in charge of it. And Brett didn't screw Brett. I actually screwed Brett at Survivor Series.
I remember that.
Anyway, enough of that. So, yeah, we'd love for you guys
got a Brett
to...
impression?
What?
You got a Brett impression?
No. Bret Hart just sounds pretty normal. There's nothing that really...
I'm just going to throw out random wrestler names at some point and see if you can do an impression of them.
That's going to be kind of hard.
Juice Robinson. I haven't heard him in a while either. I don't blame you. You don't have to do that one.
I'm dating Tony Storm. Woohoo! I don't know.
Something.
Okay. All right. Well, before we get out of here, I want to thank everybody that was watching us on the live that's been communicating with us. Over on Kick, it is Renitus Mox on Kick. We didn't get anybody in our Twitch chat. We normally get Yinzer and Juggalo and
Kick was alive, Twitch was not.
yeah, that's a different twist on certain things. But
Plot.
of course, we've got Handsome Grim, Robert Brown, and Dreamscape Immersions. We thank you guys for joining in on the chats and communicating with us. We love to talk with other fellow wrestling fans and just get their opinions and express their opinions live on our show, and get to know people, get to know other wrestling fans, because I know growing up it was a bit embarrassing to say you're a wrestling fan because people will make fun of you and you go, oh, that's fake, right? And as a kid you didn't know what to come back with. And now you can and say, well, what's your favorite reality TV show, or what's your favorite TV show or favorite movie? And then they answer and you go, you do know that's all fake, right?
It's like saying that most of the Star Wars stuff was filmed on Earth.
And it was based on a true story.
It wasn't?
Where's that water bottle?
I was kidding.
Anyway.
Also, the fact that there was legit like a news article thing I remember hearing about where someone actually used that as headline. Most of the Star Wars scenes are filmed on Earth. And it's like,
Lord.
What does that mean about the ones that weren't filmed on Earth?
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Okay. Anyway.
Some don't seem right.
That's a different podcast on a different time in the future, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway. Again, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us. Even if you didn't join in on the chat, that's perfectly fine. You can always join in on any of the chats if you're watching. Just know we do go live Monday through Saturdays on a normal week with no pay-per-views or special events. If there is a pay-per-view or special event, we will definitely be on afterward and talk about it. If you did like us here on YouTube, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, and click on that bell to get notifications of when we go live. Because sometimes we don't really go immediately after the show is over. Case in point, like tonight, we would have been on right on after Saturday Night Main Event.
I wonder if that's why Twitch is the way it is. Because we got on like, what was it, 11, 12?
Give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh well.
11:30, 12 o'clock.
Oh well.
It was already really late by then, so.
Anyway. Yeah.
We go live whenever. Right?
But, again, we'd love to see you guys come back again. Of course, I know Handsome Grim and Robert Brown, they always join us live. Dreamscape Immersions, hope to see you back here again tomorrow night after Battlegrounds and Double or Nothing. And Retinus Mox, your first time here as well. I hope to see you again here as well. And always tell a friend, let them know if they're a wrestling fan or anything like that. You just tell them, hey, you need to check out these guys because not only are they funny, but they are informative. And you should check out their impressions too. Plus,
me with one and you with what? 8 or 9?
I guess I got a longer list because I've been watching wrestling a lot longer than you.
Yeah, that's true.
Also,
then I'm just going to make fun of you for having like 10 impressions.
Oh, you can make fun of me all you want. I'm just happy I got 10 impressions. And you're still stuck with your one there. It's okay. Anyway.
I got one impression, brother. It's a constipated impression, brother.
That's okay. You can get your cookie later. Anyway.
Is it a vitamin cookie?
God. Anyway. If you're listening, if you guys aren't able to make it to the live and say you're at work that night or whatever, we understand. Life happens. Case in point, us, like tonight. It happens. You can always catch up the next day because we will have the podcast, the audio version of this show tonight. We will have it available for you the next day, so that way you can get to it and listen to it and see, and just listen in. And you can get our podcast anywhere where you can find any of your favorite podcasts. Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, just to name a few of where you can find us at. And We really enjoyed being here and talking wrestling with you guys.
Also, I think if you want to like just rewatch the video part of it, I think that automatically like records to YouTube.
It does. It automatically records to YouTube, and I save it on our YouTube page in the playlist under podcast episodes. And then you can and then you can always check out other videos we've done here on YouTube. I know we did that infomercial one, that fake infomercial for referees because they kept getting knocked out, and I thought it'd be funny if we just made like a Jerry's Kid kind of thing. You know what we need to do? We need to do kind of like a little fake telethon thing, you know, for referees or whatever, or for furniture makers. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
But I'm just getting this all set up here. All right, so we're gonna head on out of here. We will see you guys tomorrow night to give you the recap of Battleground as well as Double or Nothing. If we're not able to watch Double or Nothing, we will still go over the results regardless. We won't give you a full in-depth with it, but I don't think that'll happen. I think we'll actually be able to I think we'll actually be able to do that with Double or Nothing tomorrow. Yeah. If not, we have an alternative plan.
Just switch to Plan B.
Yeah, switch to Plan B. And that's how we usually do it. All right. Well, from us here at the Cross Promo Show, I'm Kevin.
I'm Chris.
And
we gone.
Admit it, you're just jealous I have 10 impressions and you just have that one.
I don't know, I am pretty... alternatively, I'm pretty good at selling, so... When I try to, anyway.
Oh, you think I can't sell?
Well, I mean, it's not like I can pick you up or anything.
Oh, that's true, but you... Pick up that over there and just chunk it at me.